Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody. I'm Deacon Dave.
I'm layperson Lisa.
Welcome to the Deacon Dave and layperson Lisa show from Portugalete. Portugalete.
Si.
Portugalete. Or today we have walked a total of 10 miles.
Yes.
Okay, we
took the alternate route.
We took the alternate route, which was very good because it was windy and rainy
and
today.
Cold.
Again.
Yes.
We have another streak going now. We've had the Menu del Dia for 2 days in a row, and we are drinking wine for 2 days. When did we have
2 days in a row?
No, didn't we had wine yesterday? But
yes.
Did we have wine another time?
No.
So we have a 2-day streak on having wine. This wine was $1.89 for an entire bottle, people.
Yes.
If you want wine, come to
Spain.
Because at Costco, they'll charge you $10 for this $1.89 bottle.
Exactly.
It's kind of crazy. I think wine is cheaper than water. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which reminds me of like when we mix the water and the wine.
Commingling.
Yeah, the deacon says, may we share in the divinity of Christ, who humbled himself to share in our humanity. So when you get that mingling, right, of a little bit of the water with the wine, that's what the deacon or the priest is saying if it's only a priest. And it's kind of cool, right?
Very cool.
Right, that we might share in the divinity of Christ.
Yep.
Right, who humbled himself to share in our humanity.
Yes.
Thus, Lisa, elevating our humanity to a much higher level.
Yes.
But this has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today.
But it has to do with wine, which we're drinking.
Yeah. So what day are we on now overall?
9.
This is day 9 of the Camino de Norte.
Day 7 of walking.
Right. So we've got a whole week of walking in. I think we're probably close to 90 miles.
Yes.
Or more. So we're doing well.
Yep.
And we're running along nicely. So let's talk about the rose that we saw at the top of the hill.
Yesterday.
While it was blustery and raining, this beautiful red rose.
Yes, it just was in the midst of all this darkness, and it just gave us, like, we should never lose hope despite what our circumstances are, despite the storms of life. There's always hope in Jesus, and that rose, I think, was kind of a reminder to not let the weather get the best of us.
Yeah, it was blooming beautifully. It was probably about 8 or 10 feet off the road, hanging down. Over out of a wall or over a fence or something like that. I took a picture of it, really pretty. So yeah, we can't lose hope. Hope is our very foundation, and of course we have our eternal hope, who is Jesus Christ.
Yes.
No matter what's going on in this world, that we will one day see him face to face.
Yes.
So what was the next thing, Lisa?
The pile driving. Pile driving.
Yes.
Driver?
The pile driving. So when you're putting in pilings for like a building or some structure, right, they have this machine that boom, 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 and it drives the pile down, right? And it made me think, Lisa, of how so often we are trying to drive home the point to family members about church, about Jesus, right? To the point that it creates a lot of friction between us and the family members that we're talking to. And that's exactly how these pilings work. They actually work as you jam them into the ground. They are designed to be a specific length so that the friction between the pole, the column, and the soil will withstand the weight of the structure, right? So it makes perfect sense that if we just, we keep just pounding on someone about something, it's going to increase the friction even more between us and them. And this is not necessarily a good thing. And honestly, folks, most of the people that you're trying to drive home a point to, they already know. They already know how you feel. And I think sometimes we have to know when to detach from certain situations and to just love, right? And I think oftentimes love is the most important thing that we can do, Lisa. Otherwise, we might drive a big wedge in between us and those that we love.
Yes.
Any thoughts on that?
No, I agree.
Well, thank you, Lisa. That's excellent.
Well, the next thing is umbrellas. So we had to use our umbrellas today, especially because it rained quite hard.
Umbrella. And you can sing any song from the 80s or the 90s, and Lisa will start singing it for you because she is a DJ expert. It's unbelievable, really, what she can do. I'm pretty impressed.
And so...
umbrella, Lisa.
Yes, thank you. And so God just wants to fill us with his love and his peace and his joy, but sometimes we block that off by he just wants to shower all these things upon us, and we have an umbrella blocking these things sometimes, and we're not in that posture of receptivity. And that is when we need to move our umbrella out of the way, like we kind of had to do today. Like I had my umbrella like in front of me because it was so windy that if it was like above me, it was just like, so I just put it in front of me and like charged the wind with it.
And then sometimes, Lisa, God is the umbrella.
Yes,
God
you
is
can
our
also
refuge,
look at it that way, absolutely.
Right? And he protects us,
Yep.
which was what he was also doing today.
Yep.
He was protecting us from the storms of life, the wind. God, you need a little bit bigger umbrella, if you don't mind. Well, that's my fault, actually. I was using my small God umbrella. And sometimes that's the problem, right? We don't pull out the big God umbrella for those forceful winds in our life that he can resist. And so things sometimes will fall apart because we're partly relying on our own strength.
Very good, right?
How's
right.
that?
Yeah.
God is an umbrella.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. I was trying to think of like which way to propose it.
I like
so
both
we
ways.
both did. Yeah.
I
we
like
each
both
did a way.
ways, Lisa.
Yes, I agree, Deacon Dave.
This is a plant behind us. I almost feel like we're sitting on an airplane.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Well, like an airplane?
I don't know.
I
I
feel
just felt like we're in
it's
seats.
like, it looks like a banana. Like the leaves are like,
Yeah,
it's fake. It's fake.
Okay, people,
I
this is a
can't
fake
believe
tree.
it.
This is
It
unbelievable.
looks like a banana tree. Oh,
This
they
is
did a
so
good
sad.
job.
And
They
this
did
brings
a good
up
job.
another point. We want to be authentic in our lives to the people that we're around. We want to be authentic with Jesus in our spiritual life. We don't want to be fake.
Yeah.
We need to be authentic, okay?
Yeah, and so I think, oftentimes we maybe put on a mask, especially around people, maybe like at church or that we think highly of, and we don't want them to necessarily like know how like what we struggle with or what kind of maybe something that happened in our past or like how we lived our lives in the past. And I think sometimes we put on a fake or a mask. And like you said, Deacon Dave, we're called to be authentic, to share our brokenness, to share our messiness with each other, and then our vulnerability. And then through that, God uses that to touch people in different ways. So I think that's why it's so important to be our authentic selves.
Yeah, we need to lean into our community.
Yes.
Especially when we need help.
Yes.
And to recognize that it's okay to not be perfect and to be broken. That's the only way we're going to help one another.
Yeah.
Right? I think one of the talks in Curcio is Christianity in Action. And often people think that's doing Christian actions, but it talks more about a small group of Christians who hold one another accountable.
Yes.
Lean on one another, affirm one another, help one another. And I think when we are putting on the Ritz, if you will, right, the mask, the fake plant, then we are not actually allowing Christianity in action to happen in its fullest.
Yep.
What else do we have, Lisa?
The gusty wind.
Do we have gusty winds today?
We had gusty winds.
I didn't notice
today.
any gusty winds.
Yes. I saw you struggling through those gusty winds.
My umbrella was struggling. My little
Yes.
umbrella was struggling.
Yes, mine too.
I think we broke the rating for the umbrellas against the wind.
Ah, yes.
For sure.
Yes.
So what about the gusty winds?
Well, I think sometimes we have to allow God to, the way we should always try to conform our will to God's will and go where He is calling us to, where He is guiding us. But sometimes we try to go against the gusty wind, which in this case is God's will, and fight against it and want to take control and do things our way and take this route, not this route where God may be leading us.
Yes, and I think if we were going with the wind today, God would have been trying to blow us back up the hill. So sometimes it's also, it's the winds of God that are trying to blow us, but then sometimes it's the winds of
the devil,
the evil one, right, that's trying to push us in certain directions or cause us to give up, right, or to say that this is too hard. And that's part of the mental challenge, right? There's some physical challenges going on with some of us, not the perfect physical specimen layperson Lisa over here, who was doing pull-ups with her backpack today, but for those of us who have a hurt knee and things like that, there are some challenges, right? And you can feel like you want to give up. especially when the situations are bad, which gets back to why we need to, hey, I'm struggling, right? I need your help. Like we've helped Debbie up some hills.
Yes.
Okay, by encouraging her and affirming her.
Yes.
That's Christianity in action.
Yes.
But we're not called to give up.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
against those very forceful winds.
Right.
Don't give up. If you have something going on in your life that you're struggling with, and you have that temptation to give up, lean into God, yoke yourself to Him, and let Him carry you and help you in what you do. So listen, all of these things that we're talking about as we're going on the Camino, we're hoping that it's not just us being goofy or funny, but these are actually lessons that we hope in one way or another, somewhere along the way, will touch you in a real way. So we would encourage you to really reflect on these, Lisa, to reflect on these and how they are related to your life.
How God is speaking to you.
Right. Are you an umbrella between you and God? Is God your umbrella? Right? Do you have hope? Right? Are you being driven by the winds of God, or are you being driven by the winds of the evil one in some parts of your life? And what else did we talk about? Oh, the pile. Are you creating friction between you and a loved one because you want something for them that is probably good and just and righteous, but they're not ready to do, and you're failing to maybe love? And because this is an important point.
Yeah.
Loving is willing the good of the other, but sometimes how we will the good of the other has a lot to do with it. And you can will the good of the other and
Your way.
Yes, and create complete dissonance and separation between you and them. And that's not very helpful. So be careful about that. Anything else, Lisa, that we were going to
No, I really enjoyed the way you summarized that, Deacon Dave.
Well, thank you very much.
But I would like
for
to
listening.
encourage our listeners,
Would you
our
like to
viewers,
encourage
to see the thing. These are all ordinary
these
are all ordinary things that we are bringing up, but we're allowing God to speak to us through them.
And you can
do the same.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good job, Lisa. Way to sum it all up. I am Deacon Dave.
I am layperson Lisa.
We will see you
next
tomorrow.
time.
Bye.
Bye.